Hello everybody, Sigma expert GetDazzled here to cover 10 myths with the man himself. Let's dive right into it.
Well, steal my channel, why don't you?
Let's start off with this one here. Can Sigma eat Bastion's ult with his kinetic grasp? Well, he would have to be looking up if this one's going to work. So as the Bastion fires his ult, the Sigma grasps upwards. And that is a myth confirmed here. Plus it gives you an insane amount of HP.
Myth number 2 now is that Sigma's Accretion will be blocked by a Symmetra turret. Symmetra's turrets have been known to block many things in the game whilst they're airborne, as they technically count as a solid object. However, strangely enough, Sigma's Accretion is actually an exception to this. The rock will pass right through, destroying the turret on its way.
A very common question with Sigma is if his flux can be damage boosted. Now, an important thing to understand here is that Sigma's ult has 2 segments of damage. The initial damage it deals when they're lifted, which is 50, and 50% damage that is dealt when they are dropped to the floor. When damage boosted, the initial damage is increased, in this case by 30% up to 65, but the half health damage at the end is not affected by it. So myth confirmed, I guess, but maybe not as you were expecting it to be.
With Sigma, there is no limit to the amount of overhealth you can receive. Well, when Sigma takes damage with his grasp, he will actually convert it into overhealth, which is the green health here. However, it will not go past 400 extra overhealth. Even if I am to take damage with it again, you would see that it would have went up to like 1300-ish, but it didn't. That's a myth busted right there.
Sigma's shield has a maximum range. Well, this is probably theoretically true, since the maps in Overwatch 2 are only rendered so far. You can see that this shield is going. And it's not going to stop going. This is like a full minute time lapse you're seeing right here of it escaping the atmosphere, over the mounting range in the distance. So myth busted, excluding the boundaries of the rendered map.
Kinetic grasp can absorb translocators. Why? Why is this one on here?
I don't know.
Well, we're testing if Sigma can eat translocators here. That's the throw, but it's out of the park. Went white through. Went white wall. Went white wall. He's literally in the quiddy. Went right through. What a strange myth to debunk.
Accretion can be used across the map. Now, this one's pretty vague, but I'm assuming they meant like it can leave the out of bounds area of the map, right?
Yeah.
And come back in? So this is something we like to do quite a lot on Sigma. And you can actually find some pretty impressive angles with it. Not that it's overly useful, but you can definitely do this one.
Sigma travels faster whilst in his kinetic grasp. Now this is probably referring to that one experimental patch back on Overwatch 1, where remember he would travel like super fast and you could like dive the team with it, but I'm afraid none of that actually carried over, not even a little bit. You'll see the red Sigma at the top is going to be grasping here, but despite leaving a little earlier, they are going to be the exact same here. Myth busted.
Another damage boosting one. Accretion is amplified by Baptiste's matrix. The Accretion does 100 impact damage usually, so if it does get damage boosted by the window, and it will one-shot this poor Sheldon, and bazinga! Yes, it most evidently does.
And the final myth of the myth busters here today, another stupid one it seems. Can Sigma eat Brigitte's armor packs?
I don't think this one is stupid. Imagine if you could block off the Brig's direct healing to a low HP teammate just by standing in the middle of them.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, let's see it then. Does it eat? It looks like not, I'm afraid. The third person camera will confirm for us if it did indeed pass right through, and it most definitely did. That's a myth busted. That's going to do it for the Sigma Mythbusters. Thank you very much to this Sigma god for helping me out with this video.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on here.
I'll leave his channel button at the end screen here. He does animation when he's not sweating it out on Sigma. I'd highly recommend you click that button. Check him out. Click the button. Click, click, click.
I met Sigma in real life.
That's actually crazy. I'll put up a picture on the screen of that right now, actually. That's true.